To say that I grew up around cars is a pretty big understatement, really, because I was surrounded by cars my whole life, whether they were project cars or race cars or toy cars. That was what I knew. That was the environment that I grew up in. You see, cars are a lot like people, and a lot of folks don't realize that, but they have personalities, and they have pasts and histories and previous owners and these stories to tell if you'll just listen. And it was this relationship that really drove my love for cars and turned them from just machines into friends, really. And certainly this is something I learned from my father. That was the way he grew up, was fixing up and racing cars. And whether it was when I was 6 or I was 16, that was something really special that we shared. And even before I was old enough to race, I was always hanging out at the racetrack with him and my uncles and probably just getting in the way, although they made me feel like a part of the team. And that really nurtured a love for anything with wheels. So for a long time, I thought a car was the only way to get around, or at least that it was the best way. And you probably couldn't have changed my mind on that. But then in 7th grade, I started running. And running, exploring my town on foot, taught me a lot of amazing things. All of a sudden, I knew the best place to watch the sunset. I knew where the best coffee shops were. And I knew all these amazing things about my little town that nobody else did. And when I came to Rochester after high school, I realized that the same things apply to a big city. Because as much as I love cars, when I'm driving a car, I'm connecting to that car and experiencing that car. But I'm missing everything around me. I'm watching stoplights and stop signs, not the people and the places I'm passing. And in a city as amazing as Rochester, that means I'm missing out on a lot of amazing people and amazing places. And that's a really scary thing. Because you can't see this in a car. At least not the way that it's meant to be seen. And that's why I get around the way that I do on foot, and why I hope I can convince some other people to do the same.
So you've lived here your whole life.
Yep.
And do you come to the city a lot?
Not so much when I was little, but now I'm starting to come here a little more.
Right. And when you come, do you normally drive, or
Yep.
You drive? So you don't walk around much. Do you think that you know the city pretty well, just having driven through it?
No, because you kind of just go to your destination, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
You don't know anything.
And that's probably pretty common for a lot of people. Do you think today you've been walking around with me? Do you think that through doing that you've definitely come to appreciate the city more? Would you say?
Definitely.
I walk to work almost every day, and even within that 2 miles, I try to switch up my route a little bit, and just every time I walk I see something different, and I can connect with people, I can connect with, I don't know, just the surroundings way more just by walking. And
Right.
Even riding a bike too, those things that you would notice in a car, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
just walking around, you discover so much more, you appreciate so much more, there's so much history, beautiful architecture, like the guy that designed the Space Needle made Chase Tower.
Right.
It's pretty sweet.
There's a lot of really cool old hidden buildings.
Yeah.
All over the city, and places that a lot of people aren't willing to go.
Yeah.
Because we live in a generation that's very want it, see it, need it now, and they're I got to get there now, I got to drive, I don't have time to walk or ride a bike or board or whatever. Well, do you have anything you would say to them, or?
I mean, it's always time for something.
Right.
Walking, it's not gonna kill you. It's just something that you should just do and get it over with. That's how you really feel. But me personally, and probably for you too, walking, it just feels better sometimes. Yeah. Instead of just sitting down all the time. Because
Right.
I gotta move. I can't just sit around.
You see, for me, it's not about getting from point A to point B. It's about everything that's in between that you miss out on in a car. It's about the journey. Because you can't see this in a car. And you can't really connect to the people and the places and all of the amazing things around you from behind a steering wheel. We live in this technological day and age where everything we could ever want is right at our fingertips. Or at least we think that it's everything we could ever want. And we think we're connected. But in all reality, it's made us lose sight of what's really important. Because we're always in a rush, and we're always so focused on what we think we need to get done that we forget to slow down. We forget to look around and take it all in and really appreciate the world around us. And even more so than before I began this project, I'm realizing that as much as I love cars, they have a time and a place. And I'm never going to stop loving cars, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I'm realizing that the more I'm on my feet, and the more I truly connect with the people and places around me, the more I love this city. And that's a beautiful thing.